Hello my crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Today we are going to be playing with a whole bunch of stuff. We are going to use the soft pastels because I am so in love with these right now. I cannot get enough. But we might also bring in something else. I haven't quite decided yet. We are going to be playing with the butterfly dies. I've got my plates ready to go, and we are going to be using this stamp set, Butterfly Brilliance. Now, I've already got a piece of paper in here. It is cut to 5.5 by 8.5. And you can see that I've got a little bit left over. I'm just going to move my Stampin' Emboss machine out of the way a little bit because I'm going to need some more room. And I've also got a piece of paper cut 4.25 by 5.5, which I am going to be using for the base of our card. I'm going to be stamping in Memento Black, and I'm going to move my Stampin' Seal off to the side. Okay. So I've already got my, oops, I'm just going to flip that over. I'm using Whisper White, sorry, Basic White. I'm still trying to get used to that name change. And I'm going to be stamping in Memento. So I'm going to put my my Stampin' Seal underneath, and I'm going to ink up my stamp with the Memento, get it really good and juicy. One thing that I love about the Stamparatus is that if you don't get it fully stamped in your first shot, open it up, re-ink it, and you've got a second opportunity for getting it right. I've seen a few different ways of pressing down. You can use your hand like I am. You can use a whiteboard eraser and just rub over it. And I've also seen some people take their ink pad and just rub because you get a little bit more force behind it. So we're going to open this up. Actually, that looks perfect. I just re-inked my Memento not that long ago, so I'm really happy with how that looks. I'm going to open him up, grab my stamp set, and I'm just going to set this off to the side, and I'll give it a wash when I'm done. All right, so I'm done with the Stamparatus, so that's going to go off to the side as well. Okay, now I'm going to be using my embossing machine for two things, and it will probably shake the table, so for that I do apologize. Okay, open it up, lay it flat. Just had a little adhesive in there. Okay, now for my embossing machine, you can see that you've got what you need for using with the thin dies, standard embossing folders, and 3D embossing folders. Super handy. And if you refer to this and do the sandwich exactly as it says, you'll get a perfect impression every single time. So I've got my base plate. Then I'm going to put on my thin die plate. I'm going to use one of my cutting plates. Okay, now I've got my butterflies, and here we go. So the sun is lovely coming in my craft room window, but it is so hot right now. We are experiencing a bit of a heat wave, and it is going to get much, much hotter. I think we're supposed to hit 37 or 39 or something like that today. Okay, and then I'm going to put my top plate on, make sure that nobody moves, and then, whoops, start feeding it. And then you want to turn your handle always the direction that you want your plates to go. Ouch. Sorry, my hand's a little cranky today, so it's moving a little slow. All right, pop these guys out. Stick my dies back into the envelope. And then you can actually keep this for use for something else. I'm just going to set it off to the side, and my butterflies are good to go. So I'm going to put them here. Now I've already decided that I also want to use the brick embossing folder for this. So for this one, I'm going to stick in my white plate. Now you can see that there's a black line on most, actually all of the new embossing folders, which is super handy because it lets you line up your paper so that it's straight. So I always take it and line it up to the paper and then hold it with one hand and then close it the other way. And then I'm going to grab my gray plate, put it through, and then give it a crank. Okay. So now I am done with my embossing machine. I'm going to take the pieces and I'm just going to set them on the floor for the moment. And one of the things too that I absolutely love about this, it folds and it's nice and compact, and it's actually not terribly heavy either. I think it's something like 6 pounds. All right. So now we have our butterflies and we have our brick embossing folder. Now we're going to bring in the chalks and have some fun. I'm just going to use one of the butterflies, and I want to use the bigger one. We have a lot, we planted a lot of flowers this year in our yard. This was really the first year that we've had the opportunity to do a really good planting. We've created some new gardens. And I've actually already seen a couple of swallowtails, which are my favorite. Okay, so I want to do swallowtails are yellow. So I want to do a little bit of yellow. So I'm just going to give a couple of scratches onto my paper. And then we're just going to give it a rub. And then, whoops. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow, but this time I'm going to actually draw. I hope the shadows aren't making this too challenging to see. I'm eagerly anticipating the arrival of a blind for my craft room. Like I said, I love my big windows. I am not such a fan of the extreme heat coming through. Okay, this needs a little bit more, I think. Okay, that's done. Just wanted to use the wink of Stella, but I can't seem to find her. I always refer to my wink of Stella as a person because I have no idea why. It just seems like the right thing to do. All right. So Stella has gone missing. Oh well, I'll just play with it a little bit later. Okay, so there's our butterfly done, and then we're gonna add a little bit of color as well to our brick. So I'm just going to go, and I'm using Mossy Meadow for this one. I don't want too much, but I just want to pick up a little bit of color. So I'm just going to rub it. And it really does a nice job of getting into the crevices as well. Now you might want to keep a cloth close at hand to wipe off some of the chalk. It also washes off super easily. All right. Maybe I'll do a little bit of red in here too. A little bit of Poppy Parade, just for a little bit of contrast. Okay. Oh, I like that. It kind of turned terracotta. Okay, and you can just keep going with this until you are content with how it looks. I kind of like that. Now I'm going to find my butterfly. Let's see. We're going to do a little bit more of the yellow. It kind of seems to fall a little bit. It doesn't pop as much as I wanted it to. There we go. And then I think I'm going to use some gems. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the round silver gems on its body just to give it, whoops, a little bit more of a pop. So I posted onto my Facebook page yesterday asking what people wanted to see for today's video. And most people said that they wanted to see the butterflies. But there was also a pretty good number who wanted to see the dragonflies. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a thought over the weekend and see what I can come up with for the dragonfly. All right, so there's the butterfly. As you can see, I just took and kind of shaped its wings a little bit to give it a little dimension. And then I think we need some dimensionals behind this guy just to make it pop. There we go. And you know what? It needs one more thing, so I'm just going to go grab another set. Actually, yes, I'm going to grab a set of dies. I've got this from Forever Flourishing. And I'll do a piece of garden green. I'm just going to cut it at 4 1/4 and then give it a quick run through the embossing machine. So we've got this, we've got this, we've got our die, paper, and the clear plate. Push and run it through. Okay. Give it a gentle tease, pop out the extra little bits. Okay, now, yeah, I think one will be good. All right, now we'll finish off our card. going to tuck this behind. Okay, and I'm going to use the glue dots. Just something a little bit smaller and easier to access. And I like to press what I'm working on into the glue dots just to make it a little bit easier, and also less handling of the glue dots so that they don't become less sticky. And then I'm just going to stick one more right here. Oops. Okay, and then because this is a vine and it's fairly maneuverable, I'm going to put it behind our butterfly, and then I'm going to curve it up a bit. Oops, need one more glue dot right at the very top. All right. And then I'm gonna just put that guy like that. And then grab the world's smallest scissors and just trim the stem. I'm just gonna give this leaf just a quick little trim as well. All right, so there's our little butterfly. I'm not sure what sentiment I'm going to use for this one because I don't know what I want to use this card for yet, but let me know what you think of the butterfly dies and the stamp set. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, prairieskypapercrafts@gmail.com, or you can pop over to my Facebook page, Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. I hope to see you again soon, and don't forget to hit subscribe below so you're notified every time a new video goes live. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.